On this channel, I've shown you a few different ways of creating multiple dependent drop-down lists. From using functions to combine multiple drop-down lists into one single drop-down list, to the traditional version where you've got multiple columns which pull from multiple tabs. And today we're building up on that using a Google Apps script to create multiple drop-down lists using a single table. Here's our dataset that runs down for 38,000 rows, listing out a bunch of years that the cars were available. Now, usually multiple dependent drop-down lists would be best for products, so let's go ahead and call this our products page. We'll add a new sheet and call this one whatever you want. I usually like to start in B2, so let's take the headers from here and pop them into B2 going across. We'll start by putting in our first drop-down list into B3. Insert, drop-down, criteria from a range. We'll go back to products and choose A2 all the way down to A. Press OK and done. Back to home. And there's all of the years. Now the goal here is when we click one of these years, the make will pop up with a drop-down list for cars that were created in that year. So if we choose 1985, then the make should pop up all of these cars from 1985. Of course, we don't just want one row, so let's click on this edit button and let's go down however many you want. Let's go down 20. A drop-down for each row. Let's go up to extensions, app script, and we'll write a new on edit script. We'll set up our variables. Now I've put here A2 to I because over in the products, we're going from column A all the way across to column I. When you write this up yourself, just select how many columns you've got. If you're only going up to F, then do A2 to F or whatever you need. We'll write down our sheet name, which is the home page. Tell the script that we're getting our products from the product tab, and then get the values from our data table. Now, as we work through this, we'll select the first drop-down and then the second drop-down and so on as we go across. So we need to select the right column that we're currently working in and get the last column that we're working with. We'll record which value we selected from the first drop-down list. And find all of the related data from the products table. We're going to target the next cell across to be our next drop-down menu. And build that drop-down. Otherwise, if there's no valid options, we'll just clear out the cell. Now I've got a red curly bracket here, so I've made a mistake somewhere. And it looks like it was just a misalignment of the code. Now to fill in the next data column, we actually need to create a new function, which we've used here with the arguments, but we need to create it now. Give it a moment, and there's the next drop-down list. We get all of the 1985 makes. Let's go down to Ford and see if the model pops up. There it is. There's our models. We'll go with a Ford Thunderbird. Which is a compact car. If we pick out a 2006 Ford, we don't have the option of a Thunderbird, but we do have these other ones. I guess the F-150 has been around for a long time. Let's change this one to a F-150. This gives us this red warning saying that this is not in the list. So for the 2006, we have manual 5-speed and automatic 4-speed, but for the 1985 F-150, we have more options. So the later drop-downs are being informed by the previous ones. If we delete any of these, then that clears the next drop-down, but I want it to clear out all of these. So let's head back to our function. Let's call this multiple dependent drop-downs and add in a new function to clear out all of that data. We've created our function. Now we just need to put that into our onEdit. We'll put it before this if function. The row is going to be the edited row. The column is going to be the edited column. And the maximum column is going to be, well, the maximum column index. +1 to give us that offset. We'll save that, head back, and now if we delete this, everything gets deleted. If we change this, again, everything gets deleted, and then we can select our make. And just like that, we've got a script that generates dependent drop-down lists for multiple options for infinite number of rows, pretty much infinite. And the good thing about this method is we can go in and start sorting things. So with our data like this, let's say that we want to sort this by year. We'll select somewhere in our data set, click this filter button, and then click on Sort A to Z by the year. That now sorts everything, and everything moves with it, which is a feature you can't do with the last video. Of course, this system is a little bit slower because it needs to load all of the data for each dropdown, but if you want to check out a method that's a little bit faster,